Hello, and welcome back to Blueprints. Last time, the main thing that happened was we found our way back to the underpass, and we kind of checked out that second level of the spinning gear room, which had some helpful information about the reservoir levels, and also had a locked door that requires some sort of code. I assume it is probably a date. I'm not positive though. It does end. Well, one of the possible options for the last digit of it is the number 8. And all of the other options for all the other things are letters, so not sure what to do with that. We're also starting off really well today. I forgot I also have the 2 extra coins for my allowance, which is great. Oh, I don't have a key card. Man, that's really unfortunate. I was really hoping to have a key card. Also, I only have 6 keys. I thought I was going to have 7. Okay, well, I mean, I'm still starting off pretty well, but not nearly as well as I thought. So I guess that confirms that since I became exhausted in the, what's it called? In the cloister. Sorry, in the, wait, what am I looking at right now? Oh, that's so weird. It just completely got rid of my my break room. That's really odd. I guess because I ran out of steps in the cloister, it kind of bugged the game out when I made my way into the break room. So I guess it said, no, don't do that. We're taking away your break room. Okay, well, now I know that I probably shouldn't try to cheat my way into a key card. Although I didn't really feel like cheating, just felt like taking advantage of the short distance between doors, but that's okay. Now we know what happens when I try to do that, and I won't do it again. Alrighty. I just tried to hit my map to see like what that looked like, even though it doesn't matter here, and I don't have a map yet anyway. So root cellar is great if we get a shovel. Tool shed is nice to have offerings. I think shrine is probably... I do want to try out each of the different blessings that this has to offer and kind of make my own record of them. So let's do that. And I like that they last more than a day too. Sometimes I don't like to pick this because it feels like a waste on the day that I pick it. But I don't think I should view it that way. Okay, let me check my notes. Oops. Getting out my phone. Let's check my notes to see which things I've tried. So, Shrine Blessings. 2 coins is the Blessing of the Dancer. 10 coins is the Blessing of the General. 15 coins, Blessing of the Berry Picker. I guess I haven't tried 1 coin, which seems kind of odd. I feel like I would have tried that already. So I mean, let's try that. 1 coin. See what happens. Yeah. Also Blessing of the Dancer. Okay. Good to know. So that's 1 to 2 coins, and not a bad benefit. Also lasts for 3 days. I should probably be writing down the length of these things. Just in case that changes somehow with different coin amounts. But I'm pretty sure with 2 coins it was also 3 days. Alright, well, I will take that benefit and hopefully make decent use of it. Although I don't want to use too many gems willy-nilly. Is there anything else I want to do out here? Yes, I would like to look for some white trees, if there are any. Assuming my game doesn't freak out too much. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I'll make my way this way. I'll also, since I'm heading over here anyway, oh, look at those white trees. That is totally... Okay, well, those are definitely white trees, but now I need to check to see if I need a shovel, because that's possibly the case. Find among the white trees under 2 stones. That doesn't necessarily sound like I for sure need a shovel. It could just be I pick up the stones and they're there, but let's see. Under 2 stones. Ah, here they are. There's nothing that I can do with the stones, as far as I can tell, which makes me think I probably do need a shovel. Alright, that's doable. In that case, I was planning on going over to the orchard to read the book again, but I think I'm just going to not do that, and it'll be fine. Alrighty, well, we now know where the white trees are, and we just need a shovel for that. Probably should have checked on that last time, but I think I realized that kind of towards the end of the run. And this time, if I do get a shovel, I'll be sure that's the first thing I do with it. Okay, time to start the run properly. I do like starting with a nook. That being said, I already have lots of keys, so maybe I don't start with a nook. Let's start with a pantry. I immediately regretted it as soon as I did it because I'd like to use the pantry if I get a cloister again, but you know, that's alright. Still got 2 other options for the cloister. Well, I don't want to use a gem, and I want gems, so let's do that. Okay. Oh, and the other one. There's Swimbird. Don't really see anything particularly useful from the Swimbird, but we have read that book now. We do still have a book waiting for us in the library too, so that's something I will probably want to keep in mind. Something I also want to keep in mind is that we can survive putting a bunch of dead ends at the beginning. So that's probably what I'll want to do. Let's go ahead and put the nursery here. Yeah, I think that was a good option, just to make sure that I have easy access to new steps. And now we can head this way. Ooh, foyer early on is actually really great, especially if I end up getting a great haul. So let's go ahead and do that. That is 2 of my gems, but I think I'm okay with that. Still don't know what to do about this room. This guy, his count and his gates, something about it just makes me think about all sorts of different things. Mostly the office safe, or maybe not the safe, but the paper that's in there with the list of books. One of them is called March of the Count. And this guy is the Count. And it's Count Isaac Gates. And it makes me think of Count Gates, which seems like a command, like I need to count the gates. Same thing with, not this one. Major Nicholas Key IV. Something about that just makes me think Major Key 4. Don't know what to do with that info though. And there's not much else in here to go on. Someday I Shall figure this out. Okay, I can't do a dead end here, so I'm gonna go with den. Get ourselves another gem. Let's head to the left side. See what we can do. We could do parlor here to head downward. Or we could put West Wing Hall. I think I kind of want West Wing Hall higher up if I can, since I know it'll be unlocked. So let's do parlor here. That also gets us more gems. And brings us one step closer to that trophy. I'll have to check the library to see how close I am overall. Only one box is true. The black box contains the gems. The blue box contains the gems. Okay, if this is true, then both of these are false, which means the white box contains the gems. I'm good with just going with that. Yep. Easy enough. Didn't check the tables, but there doesn't seem to be anything. So let's head back down. Ooh. Veranda might be nice. Let's do it. We have a few gems. Oh, shovel. Perfect. I was kind of secretly hoping there would be a shovel in here. Even though I don't know if I've ever seen one in here. But now I have one. So, I think what I'm going to do is draft this room, since this is kind of a dead end anyway. And then I'll head back outside to those trees. See if I can do anything about that. I guess I'll do hallway closet, even though it's only 2 items. I think that's the best fit here. And I'd rather have either of the other 2 rooms just somewhere else in general. So, yeah, let's do that. Coin purse is great. That's the gaining interest one. And a gem. Alrighty. I'll take it. And now we will head back and just look around carefully on the way back. Yep. And let's head out to those white trees, see if we can dig around. I'm hoping we can. There's always the possibility that the shovel is not what we need there. Which would be a shame, because that would be kind of a big waste of steps at this point. Alright. Here we go. Here's some white trees. There are 2 really obvious looking stones. Yeah, here we go. Conservatory. Adjust the rarity of the floor plans in your house. Interesting. Conservatory is one of the things that was mentioned in the journal, I'm pretty sure. That's in the orchard. And I had not seen it around. So, cool. Yeah, I'll add it. Awesome. Very nice. Glad I solved that puzzle. And that was a really long puzzle, too. That was all the sheet music and finding all of them once and then finding all of them twice, because I actually needed the first words of each piece of sheet music. And that led me over here, and I needed a shovel for it. That was quite the puzzle, so I'm hopeful that the conservatory is a really good prize for solving that. It seems like it will be. Especially if I can take something like the drafting studio and make it common or something like that. That seems really useful. But I'm assuming from the picture of it that it'll just give me like 3 choices and I can do something with that. Okay. So right here, I feel like hallway actually fits really well here. Although I could do commissary. I'm kind of itching to get to the right side at some point in this run, so we'll go ahead and put a hallway here so we can do that. And go ahead and head over. Passageway actually fits really well here, but I kind of want to save that for later if I can. Because I tend to find lots of locked doors in the passageway, and since I know they will be unlocked, it'd be nice to have that higher up. This is really far away from rank 8. I can't remember if I got the lunchbox or not. I don't think I did, but I may just be misremembering. Yeah, this is just really far away from rank 8. Like, so much so that I don't know if 20 or even 30 extra steps would be super helpful to have to walk back from rank 8 just to get them. I'll have used most of them by the time I get back to rank 8. So, maybe passageway is the call here. Or spare room. Let's do spare room. I think that's just fine. This room always feels a little too empty to me. Utility closet is really good, so I'm tempted to just get it, but I'd really like to reach those 3 rooms down there. Yeah, let's try to go for those 3 rooms. Probably not a good idea to pass up the utility box, but it's really what I want to do. And yes, I would like to go to those other 2 rooms as well. Okay, what can I put here? This one would give me extra steps. It would give me 10 steps. But I would not be taking full advantage of it because I don't have 2 shops. So I think I might go for the laboratory just so I can get the experiment going. Keycard. That is incredible. Thank you for not punishing me too hard for my sketchy behavior at the end of last run. Alright. Let's set up an experiment. Okay, I don't have the hallway one this time, which is fine. And probably good because I feel like I just used a lot of hallways. Okay, so let's look at the effects. Lose 10 steps and gain 20 gold. Could not be too bad, especially since I have nursery already up and running. Gain 1 key, 1 gem, or 1 die, selected randomly. Not too bad. There's a chance that could really screw me over if I rely on it too much. Or set your steps to 40. Okay, let's think. While drafting, if you draw a drawing room floor plan, there's only one of those, and I don't feel like I draw it that often. Each time you eat an apple, I feel like I tend to see a few of those. When you draft a red room, lose 5 steps and then. Yeah. Oh, that's tough. I'm not too huge a fan of any of these. And of course I could just choose not to do the experiment. But I do want to mess around with this mechanic a little more. What I could do is draft a red room, lose 5 steps, and then set your steps to 40. Because that would completely negate the losing 5 steps. And I feel like red rooms pop up enough that if I just needed more steps, like if I am at, 15, steps, I could just draft a red room and then boom, I'm at 40. Now the question is, if I draft something like the weight room, am I going to end up with 20 steps or 40 steps? I don't know. But that's only one red room, so I think I'm willing to risk it. Let's try it. That seems like a very risky one, especially since I started out with so many more steps. But, you know, we don't have to draft a red room, necessarily, until after we're below 40 steps. So maybe it was a good call. I don't know. We'll find out. And then we've got this little gap right here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do commissary. Can spend some money. Don't see anything to pick up. Alrighty. Let's see what we can buy. Running shoes might be really helpful. I do like a good sledgehammer. Let me look at my very sparse workshop notes. Okay, I've done the dowsing rod. There is shovel plus broken lever plus something. Sledgehammer plus broken lever plus something. I'm wondering if those somethings are batteries, because that's something I come across pretty rarely and feel like would probably be necessary to do anything with a broken lever. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell whether any of those combine with these. I really should have taken a picture of that drafting strategies page with all the items and things like that make workshop stuff. Okay, I probably need stuff to help with my steps if I'm going to have this experiment going. So let's do sleeping mask. Let's do running shoes. And it's always good to have a magnifying glass, just in case. Because there have been plenty of times that I needed one and not had one. Okay, let's head upward. Courtyard fits really well. Bedroom also fits just fine. Courtyard is more likely to have items, and I do have a shovel to dig, so maybe I go with that. Oh, and a free sledgehammer. That's pretty nice, because that is something I did not buy. Metal detector is also really nice. Man, that veranda really pulling its weight here. Whoa, +6. Probably should have stuck around on that screen a little longer to read that. That's okay. Old shoe. Nice. Yeah, I'd say that was a good option. I think Nook actually works really well here. Brings me up to the right side a little more. Let's put that there. And the question is, do I want to go in or do I want to go back to the hallway and draft from there? Let's keep going up and see if we can make our way to the foundation. And then we can just draft downwards from there. And I think that'll be a good use of our steps and everything. Okay, well, I'm low on coins, but this would technically count as a second shop, but I'm also low on gems. So let's do kennel instead. especially since I have a shovel. This seems like a good use. Hello. Oh, gotta pet the dog. Okay, I don't think there's much I can do in here. There is, of course, this thing, which I do have a magnifying glass now. Okay, C-A-T. Just trying to see if there's anything that I can glean from this. I'm not seeing anything immediately. So I'm really not sure what this is for. There's a little slip of paper in the dog kennel that spells cat. Just not really understanding it. That's okay though. Let's head back out to the courtyard and work our way up from there too. Okay, awesome. Chapel would get me a lot of coins. Guest bedroom would fit fine here too. And could have items, or an item. Let's do guest bedroom. I think it fits better. And we can get a bunch of steps from it. Oh, even more stuff. Ah, car keys. Nice. Alright, so if I get garage, that might be really helpful. KL. I should probably know who that is by now. Yep, that's what I have to say about that. Okay. Let's head back up this way. Okay. Drawing room fits pretty well. Although it does use one of my gems. Might be better off doing bedroom or even mailroom, really. I could do mailroom. And then just head back to the hallway, start working my way up. I also don't know how wise it is to put a dead end this high up in the mansion. Let's go ahead and do bedroom. And we have a chest. It's pretty good. Especially with our sledgehammer. Thank you. And thank you. Okay. Guess I can look at this picture a little more closely if I want. But I don't know if there's really anything to learn. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. She does have the little moon pendant. This thing is still taunting me in some way. Not really sure how. And these hand statues are also suspicious. Someday I'll have all the answers. And that day is not today. We could do break room. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's a good fit for here. No items, unfortunately. Okay. We keep adding more rules to this, which I really enjoy. So this is 11 times 3, which is 33, minus 13, which is 20. And then this is 3. What? I mean, this feels like it's 3 divided by 5 minus 1, which doesn't make any sense. Unless I'm just completely misunderstanding. Right? Because yellow is minus. So what am I not understanding here? It's... I'm not understanding that it starts with 20, not 3. My goodness. I think I just... My main problem now, somehow, because this happened last time too, is just seeing what number is being referenced. The math is all fine, and I get it, but I just can't seem to tell where the thing is pointing. Okay, this is 20 divided by 5, which is 4, minus 1, which is 3. Okay, this is 28 divided by 14 is 2, times 12 is 24, minus 5 is 19. Okay, it's fine. We always get there in the end. Just takes a minute, most times. Okay, this door is locked. I think I just picked up a silver key. I mean, I'm not in danger of running out of keys, I don't think. That being said, no, yeah, I'll use one. Okay, there's boudoir, which does have a gem, so that would be helpful. Greenhouse would be good, especially since I have a shovel, assuming there are dig spots in the greenhouse. Yeah, I've seen them before. Would make it more likely to get green rooms. Let me check my soil chart. This would be rich. Yes. So theoretically, that's really good. I would most likely get gems from it too. So even though I'm spending a gem, I should get at least 1, if not 3 or 4 gems. And it would be likely to have items. So despite the fact that it's a dead end, I still have the hallway back on rank 3 that I can work my way up from. And this should be really profitable. Let's do it. Okay. Yes, watering can, which I forgot what that does. First time you enter each green room, use 1 water to gain 1 gem. That's actually pretty good. There's a key. There's 1, 2, 3 gems. That's awesome. And here's some coins. And I'm still missing something because it's beeping at me. Ah, coin. Alright. Yeah, I think that was pretty good. Especially since I can potentially get a few more gems. Yes, okay. Let's head back this way. And we will see if I can... Yep, I can use the watering can. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm assuming there's not really any other use for the watering can except maybe workshop stuff. So I'm not really feeling dissuaded at all from just using it. Okay, here we are. Got 5 gems. I'd really like to make my way up to the foundation from here, if possible. So I'm thinking about re-rolling. It's either re-roll or use the aquarium, which I could rotate the aquarium, but that would be 2 gems just to do that. And I also have no idea if it's going to rotate it the way I want. I also will get a gem going in there if I use the watering can. So, and there should actually be items in there since it's a green room. You know what? I'll do it. And it rotated the way I wanted. That's awesome. I think that's definitely worth it. Yeah, let's go ahead and watering can, key, gem, coins. Hello? Oh. Oh. I bet this was locked. Okay, yes. I was like, why did I hear a dog just now? But the whole point of the kennel is that when I dig in a room, it unlocks all the doors. So I think that sound was telling me, hey, you dug, and you unlocked all the doors. Okay, not bad at all. Let's go ahead and head this way. Okay. So I could put could spend 3 gems, which is a lot, to put a cloister here and see if I can get either a kitchen or a furnace. I think it's not too unlikely to get that. But that does cost 3 gems. I do get one back from my watering can. It would be my last one. And there would potentially be items in there too. So it might not be too bad of an option. But I think I might do corridor instead. Just because I can already make my way up above that room from the foundation. So let's go ahead and put a corridor here. So we can make our way towards the left side of the mansion. Okay. I mean, terrace would definitely solve the cloister problem. Not to mention I would get another gem. I would get some sort of item. And there might also be a dig spot, I'm not sure. I don't need keys. I really don't need keys. Yeah, I think terraces are a great option. Yes, let's go ahead and use the watering can. I'm assuming that means I don't have a watering can anymore. No, I still have it. Oh, but I could refill it in the kitchen or anywhere with a sink, I think. Probably just the kitchen, actually. Okay. And I don't see any dig spots, but I think that's fine. Kind of surprised that the coins were the only thing in here, especially since I normally get a gem from here. But that's all right. Yes. Let's head back this way into foundation, and we can dig around in here. A few coins. Nice. And a few coins. The interest is really helping me out. That's awesome. Yeah, let's go ahead and go pull the north lever. I'm feeling pretty good about making it all the way to the antechamber today. Maybe I shouldn't. But, I mean, we're heading below 40 steps. We have not seen a single red room as far as I'm aware. Which means once we get to those higher ranks, I'm thinking we'll start seeing more red rooms. And that'll help us keep our steps at a reasonable level. Yes, it's this way and this way. Yep, still don't have any ideas for the code up there, so I'm not gonna do that. I wonder what the point of that gate is. Not really sure. Alrighty. Inner sanctum. Let's pull the lever. And open the north door. Oven Navarre. Still not really sure what to make of that. It's all very intriguing. Someday I'll have all the answers. I think that's going to be my new catchphrase for this game. Because, you know, I want it to be true. I looked closely at the walls and it looks like that's the only side path, so all seems good there. Somehow I still have 41 steps. These shoes are pulling their weight more than expected. Okay, down to 40 now. Man, they are... Do they only work when I sprint? Is that like part of the thing? Lose less steps when traveling longer distances across the estate and grounds. No idea. Something I haven't tried in a while is looking at one of those loose-looking brick walls with the sledgehammer. I'm pretty sure I've done it before, but it's been long enough that I might be wrong about that. And it's possible the sledgehammer is all I need for those. In real life, I feel like that's true, but it's hard to say. Each time you dig in a room, unlock all doors in that room. I dug in here twice. Why is this door locked? Does it only stay locked until I leave, unlocked until I leave the room? I'm very confused about that. That's fine. Maybe the foundation doesn't count as a room. Secret passage is the best fit here. I could do this and then do a bedroom. And that would double my coins. But I'm also thinking that if I really want to double my coins, I should do it after I draft the chapel. So even though that may not be the best fit, I think I'm going to do chapel here. Going to get my extra coins. Yes. Plus interest, which is awesome. And then if I do see the bunk room, I can double a lot more money. Yeah, let's use key. We've still got plenty. Well, we could up our security. I'm not sure if we especially need to do that, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It would just cost me a gem. We could do patio. That would essentially give me a way to get a lot more gems, since I do have a lot of green rooms out now. Or we could do gymnasium just to get up to the next level from here. Although that wouldn't really serve the purpose that red rooms are serving right now, because I'm at 40 already, and then I would just set my steps to 40 and then lose 2 right when I enter. So maybe we do security here. I think that's probably the best bet. Patio is also a very good choice, actually, but I do potentially want to work my way up from here and also set security. Let's do key card, set it to high, and let's change this to unlocked. And let's head back and look at the inventory. I have not missed a single thing. That is wonderful news. Okay, and let's head upwards from here. West Wing Hall fits great and would be unlocked for sure. I don't think I want freezer just yet. It's always kind of hard to tell though. No, I don't want oh, well, yeah, I don't want freezer because I want to be able to spend gems. So let's go ahead and put West Wing Hall here. I think that's just a safe bet all around. Now utility closet is not especially helpful right now. It would keep the gymnasium from its negative effects. And if I did get a garage, it would also open up the door in there, although not particularly sure how helpful that is. But I don't really need to make my way all the way to the room above the foundation because I can just get there from the foundation. So, sure, let's do this. Any items? No. Okay. Let's keep the keycard system on since I have a keycard. And turn that off, turn that on. Still don't know what cabinet is all about. Really not sure. Okay. This would be a great spot for dining room. Patio is also still a good option. Yeah, I think dining room is just too good to pass up here. Have I ever put a dining room on the edge? Because this is really, really nice with the giant window there. Yeah, that's really good. I like it. Should we go ahead and go up or this way? Probably this way. Yeah, I don't want to use my silver key here just yet. Okay. Coat check is not bad. I do have lots of items that I could potentially check. This one also not bad. Although, if I were to choose bedroom here to go for that bunk room, That would not be an ideal place for the bunk room. And I do kind of want to keep my 5 gems if possible. So let's put a coat check here. And we don't have anything to check out from there, so we're not going to go in there just yet. Drafting studio is always tempting. I love me some permanent upgrades, so yeah, we're going to do that. Got a compass here, which is nice. I still have yet to figure out what date I need to put into this tiny safe here. And I don't know if it's connected to classroom. Interesting. I don't know if it's connected to the study safe or not. I've already tried 1225. Doesn't do anything. Have I tried today's date? I think I did last time, but today's the 6th of December, so we can try it. 1206. We can try it in non-American format. Although 1225 was an American format, so don't really see that working out. I do kind of wonder about that though, like, would 2512 also have worked for the Christmas safe? I don't know. Have I looked at this with the magnifying glass? I don't feel like I have. It's possible there's some hidden message that's only visible with the magnifying glass. November 7th is day 1. That is true. Do I see anything around here? I wonder if there's something on the trunk of the big tree. Surprisingly, no. I thought for sure there would be something carved in there. The fact that I can look at this with the magnifying glass makes me think that there's something to see. I'm just really not sure. I feel like I tried every combo of like these 4 trees here with the number of fruits that are on each one. But yeah, I'm just really not seeing what I'm supposed to see. Assuming there is something I'm supposed to see. I feel like there is. I feel like there's something here. But yeah, not really sure. Did I try 3442? Probably. I feel like I probably tried 3442 and 4452. But just in case, we're going to try those again. 3, 4, 4, 2. Enter. Nope. Okay. And what about 4, 4, 5, 2. Enter. Nope. About 3, 4, 4, 3. Enter. Nope. And what about 4, 4, 5, 3. Enter. Nope. Okay. Yeah, still not sure. There is a chessboard in the lounge And there's a queen on d8. I don't know what to do about that, but I'm wondering if maybe that has to do with the code in the spinning gear room. Since that does end in an 8, I guess I could see the next time I'm there if maybe I can do some chess-like notation. I'm gonna draft a room, or add a room to the draft pool before I leave. Okay, let's read all these. Classroom. A commissioned blueprint made for Reddington Elementary. These floor plans were deployed in Mount Holly as a short-term solution to allow the curriculum to continue uninterrupted while the new school was being built. So this adds the classroom permanently to my drawing pool, which makes me think I could possibly get to grade 9 instead of grade 8. Right? Because I'm assuming this only adds the 1. So if I don't draw a schoolhouse at the beginning, then I just come in, I have 1 classroom available to me. If I do get the schoolhouse, then that adds 8 classrooms on top of the 1 classroom I would already have. So that is interesting, because it makes me think that the final exam is maybe in grade 9, or maybe even later, like grade 12 or something. I don't know. What's next? Dormitory. These small sleeping quarters, devoid of frills and distractions, are ideal for the student, scholar, or denizen of academia who wish to focus on their studies without interruption. That was not proper grammar. Sorry to overanalyze. Study and sleep, rinse and repeat. Each time you enter a dormitory after drafting a drafting room, gain 10 steps. Interesting. So, like, if I do drawing room, then come back to the dormitory, I get 10 steps. Then later on, I do drafting studio, come back to dormitory, get 10 more steps. That is interesting. I don't know how useful it is, unless I have it somewhere just like really easy to get to. It does also count as a bedroom, so there's that. And, you know, there might be lore and stuff in there too. And then the other one I've seen before, Dovecote. I might need to look that up to make sure I'm pronouncing that right, but I can't think of another way it would be pronounced. Let's see, Dovecote. It is indeed a word, and it is indeed pronounced Dovecote. A structure usually at a height above the ground for housing domestic pigeons. Interesting. Didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, it seems like an interesting room just on its own. And the fact that I could rotate for free just if I draw it is also pretty interesting. But that also seems like it would happen pretty rarely. So I'm really not sure. I'm kind of thinking classroom might be the best play here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's add a classroom. Why not? Okay, and then let's head up to the corner here. Already have a conservatory. I mean, Yeah, it's a new room. We have to do it. Even though I would like the 3 gems, I think it's too good to pass up. Okay, I need to find the beeping. Find the source of the beeping. Oh, is it the... No. That is not a tool I can use. Oh, key. Okay, thank you. Now I can stop and read things. Drafting locations. West Wing only. Garage, West Wing Hall, and her ladyship's chamber from south-facing doors. Oh my. That is huge. I've always wondered why I never found her ladyship's chamber. And it's because it's only in the West Wing and only if you're going south. So, yeah, it makes sense why I would have never found that because that rarely ever happens. And I'm assuming it's pretty rare too, so it would have to be at like a high up West Wing only location. I'm gonna find a place to write that in my notes. It's kind of just like a random thing. Okay. I'm gonna write down her ladyship's chamber. West Wing only. From south facing doors. Yes, that sounds great. Okay. East Wing only. East Wing Hall and master bedroom. Okay. I'll go ahead and write down that master bedroom is East Wing only. Because I don't think I've seen that yet. East Wing only. Okay, and then conservatory is only draftable in a corner. That makes sense, because I just drafted it in the corner. I'll go ahead and write it down, though, just so I know for the future. Conservatory. Corner only. And bookshop is only draftable from the library. I'm surprised I didn't notice that, even though looking back, it's really obvious that, like, oh, hey, I just did the bookshop and I'm right next to the library. Like, duh. But, okay, now I know for sure. Only from library. Okay, that is very useful information. There are lots of books in here, but doesn't look like any of them are really readable at all. Even more beeping. Broken lever. That's pretty nice. And I do have a greenhouse I could go back to with that if I wanted. Okay, let's see. I just kind of want to look around a little bit more. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. In the conservatory, you will be able to permanently adjust the rarity and rates that determine how often certain floor plans are drawn. Rarity changes can be reset using the directory in this room. Okay, so it sounds like even if they are not on this sheet, if I've changed them, I can just open up my directory while I'm in here and reset them. Okay. Floor plan consideration. Oh. Okay. Interesting. So oh goodness, I backed all the way out. It didn't occur to me that it might also be helpful to make things more rare so that they show up less. And of course, red rooms might be good to do that too. Making walk-in closet commonplace. That would possibly give me items really early on, which would be really helpful. Okay, let's go back to choose plan. Today, you may adjust the rarities of the above floor plans. Can I adjust all three of them? I mean, that would be great. It sounds like I might be able to. Boudoir is good. It has a gem. It's a bedroom. Yeah, I feel like that would be good to be commonplace. I'm assuming it doesn't change anything about the room other than how often it appears, so... Yeah, let's change this to commonplace. And it looks like we can change all of them. And we could even change this one back if we wanted. So let's... Yes. Okay. And then this one I'd like to be... do I want it all the way to rare? Probably, right? I just would rather see less of it. I think the downside of that would be that it might pop up when I'm at a high rank when I'd rather see something else. Whereas if I put it as commonplace, I could just get it out of the way early. But it doesn't give me anything, and I want things that give me things early on. Yeah, let's make it rare. If we hate it, we can change it. Okay, I think that's all of them. Let me open up my directory to make sure that they've changed. Red Room is rare. And yes, I have the option to reset it. No, I would not like to reset it. Let me make sure the other ones are... Yes, that's commonplace. Okay, very cool. That seems to be a pretty good addition to my drafting pool. So let's... Do I want to go back down to the foundation and start working my way up from there? It might be helpful. In fact, it might be helpful to go all the way back to the greenhouse and pull that lever. But at the same time, I don't want to do that in case I get a workshop, because I do have a lot of stuff that I could use in the workshop. Let's go ahead and go back down to the foundation. Which is just one more down this way. And then from here, we can go up. And what I'd really like is a workshop right here, because it would fit well. And I could use it. Okay, no workshop, unfortunately. Although I don't like the way most of these fit, I might go ahead and redraw here. And get a workshop. Yeah, I like it. Let's do it. Okay. And we have a battery, which is perfect. I have a feeling I'm going to be able to make something good here. So, yeah, look at all that stuff. I might want to go through everything just to see what they make, and I can write it down. So, broken lever can combine with shovel and battery pack to make jackhammer. Ooh. What could I use jackhammer for? I want to say I could use it for those brick walls, but I'm not entirely sure yet. It's definitely tempting to just try it to find out. Okay, so this plus battery pack equals jackhammer. Okay. What else can we do? I don't have a rabbit's foot, unfortunately, so I can't figure out what that makes. But this plus sledgehammer is power hammer. Ooh, that sounds even more like I could break a brick wall. So now I don't know which one to choose from those two. Okay, plus battery pack equals power hammer. Okay. What else could I do? Assuming those are the only things I can use broken lever for. Seems like it. Can I use key card with anything? No. Running shoes? No. Shovel plus compass is dowsing rod. I did that last time. And the dowsing rod, I should write this down. The dowsing rod points at room that's more likely to have items than normal. Okay, because that is one that I will definitely forget later on. Can this do anything else? Doesn't really look like it. Okay. Shovel plus metal detector is the detector shovel, which I've done before. Let's go ahead and write that down. Shovel plus metal detector equals detector shovel, and that makes it more likely to find items plus more likely to find items in dig spots. Pretty sure. Okay, I don't want to make that. That's all for shovel. Compass plus battery pack is electromagnet, which I've also done before. That's compass plus battery pack equals electromagnet, and that I think increases likelihood of things, maybe. I think it might increase likelihood. Of, you know, coins and keys, I think. And auto collects them. Okay, that seems to be it for compass. Sledgehammer, nothing. Battery pack, nothing. Magnifying glass plus metal detector equals burning glass? Does that light fires? Oh man. These all just keep getting better and better. Okay, so this would be magnifying glass plus metal detector equals burning glass. Sounds pretty good. And that doesn't do anything. Okay. So we've got several options that we could do. Namely, we've got jackhammer as a possibility, we've got power hammer as a possibility, and we've got burning glass. And the best part about all of it is that I do have a code check. So if I wanted to make something that I didn't make super good use of in this run, I could check it and then use it in a future run. So the question is, what do I want that to be? What would jackhammer realistically do, is my question. I actually have no clue. Jackhammer, I mean, that you use that on like floors and stuff, right? I'm trying to think of if that would be helpful at all in most places. I don't think so. Now, power hammer That to me sounds like it could break down the brick walls, which we have 2 of those in our house right this second that we could try it on. So that might be really good. And then we have burning glass, which I don't know for sure if we have any places we could try that on. No, I do, because there's the entire torch room that we do have access to right now. Do we have access to it? I think we might actually not have access to it. Because I think the minecart is pushed the other way and the reservoir is drained. So, no, we don't have access to that. What do we have access to with the burning glass? Maybe those 2 unlit torches that are down in that tunnel. I feel like you could possibly use that there. And then other than that, I still have been doing a pretty bad job of keeping track of those like ruby candles. So I'm not sure. But again, I can always check it and then I'd have it later once I do know more about what I would use it for. I think I want to try the power hammer. I feel like that is probably gonna do what I think it's gonna do. I guess I could always be wrong. But if I'm right, we immediately have 2 places we can use that. So let's do it. Okay, time to find out if this does what I think it does. A circuited power hammer, a stronger sledgehammer that can also knock down weaker brick walls. Heck yeah, let's do it. And by let's do it, I mean let's do it immediately, right this second. Time to open up this stupid shortcut. And then after we open up the stupid shortcut, we're gonna go straight to the green room and open that up too. Yeah, I gotta... Just looking around in case there's ruby candles in here. I don't think there are though. Okay, can I break down anything over here? I don't think so. Nope. Anything over here? No. Nothing over here either, it doesn't look like. Alright. Yeah, this really obviously weak brick wall. Let's do it. Tear it down. Oh yes. Sealed entrance. And we got some stuff to read too. Before we read that, I really have to pee, so I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. 2 things to look at here. Let's look at this. This is the Scripps and Renford Mining Company Foreman's Log 289. Date is 5/15/1917. Excavation progress is going smoothly, and crew spirits are higher than they have been in weeks. I believe this increase in morale is in no small part due to the installation of the boiler, which has honestly been a godsend. We now have steam power and no longer have to rely on raw muscle to scrape and heave at the clay like dogs. The new steam power hoists and winches are fully operational, and we have been able to unearth over 5 times as much sediment per shift as we had been previously excavating. Okay, so they've been using steam power. Can I use that steam power? I guess that's the question. Ben Aries Patent Office, 68642. Scripps and Renford Mining Co. Patent for high pressure condenser. Steam line to boiler, yes, that's the condenser. And then remote power box. Steam line to HPC. interesting. Okay. And should I be looking closely at any of this? Probably doesn't matter too much. Yeah, all looks pretty normal. Okay, and luckily I figured that connection out on my own and have already made my way through that door, which is awesome. And we get to use the power hammer to get rid of this too. Nice. So theoretically, can I just head straight to the foundation at the start of the game? Oh, only if I have a key card. That is the stipulation. If I have a key card, I can come straight to the foundation and work my way any which way from there. Is that a good idea? I don't know. What I can do, even without the key card, is immediately pull the north lever. And that might be a good idea, just to have that already pulled without having to do it from the foundation. Maybe. That might use even more steps that way, though. Yeah, just trying to think of what benefit it is to have access to this right from the beginning of the run. I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out someday. Okay, so what I want to do now is head back to the greenhouse. And what's the best way to do that? Probably from the foundation, right? Because that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps from the foundation. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So, yes, we'll go back up. I think that's it for the basement as far as I know. Which I don't know very far. So, you know. It's hard to say. But I feel like I've done just about everything that I can think of in here. I feel like it anyway. Should I go back over there to make sure there's no weak brick walls over there? I think I should. Because it won't cost me any extra steps to do that. So let's walk over here and right here. No, I'm not seeing any weak brick walls. There's still this, which I think I've already looked at with a magnifying glass. Yep. Then there's this, which we found out there is a backup for every switch. But we don't know where they are. Very interesting. Well, okay then. That's the basement. Probably done for the most part. I'm sure I'll find something later that proves that we are not done here, but feeling good about it for now. Yeah. Alrighty. Now we make our way back to the green room and see what's behind that wall, which I think will be ultimately more interesting. What other walls have I seen? I know there's one in the secret garden, but I feel like I saw another one and then kind of forgot. Which is unfortunate. but I'm sure we'll figure it out at some point. Okay. Yeah, I do have enough steps to do this. And ideally, when I come back, I can maybe draft a red room so that I can get back up to 40 steps. I could also, worst case scenario, go back to the dining room and get steps that way as well. So let's go ahead and head this way. I think I'm going, yes, up through here. Okay, and right in here, let's tear it down. Ooh. Ooh. For some reason I was expecting not very, whoa. For some reason I was expecting not very much to happen, but... Oh, look at that, the door even shows up on the map now. That's awesome. Cutting out little words out of a magazine. Not creepy at all. There's a package back there. Correspondence envelopes. Which makes me think this is Denny Ravane stealing somebody's mail. Okay. Oh my goodness. So this guy may have gone a little crazy. Yeah. It seems like he may have just gone crazy. Okay, the original gardener's logbook, February 1990 through when I got fired. She loves me not. She loves me not. Creepy. Okay, this is a record of my many indiscretions and lapses of judgment. Should this logbook ever be found, know that my guilt is exceeded only by my failings. Interesting. As the groundskeeper of a vast estate, it is my responsibility to ensure the property remains well maintained and beautiful all year round. From the many green rooms of the manor to the sprawling lawns, it is my duty to attend to every aspect of the grounds, ensuring they are orderly, presentable, and accessible, so that they may be appreciated by both guests and the family. That would be the day. This logbook, many years overdue, will serve as a record of some of my duties, discoveries, and contributions I have made to the estate over the many years I have served here as groundskeeper, and however many more are yet to come. Not many, apparently. Okay. February 25th, 1990. A few months ago, I made a truly remarkable discovery in my role of Mount Holly horticulturist. Through years of breeding and experimentation, I successfully created a new species of flower with a fruit that resembles a gemstone in every detail. Although the fruit is not edible, it is nevertheless a marvel of nature, possessing all the beauty and brilliance of a genuine jewel, but with the added benefit of being entirely organic. Despite the creation of this flower being my proudest accomplishment to date, my joy was slightly curbed when I was informed by Randolph Moore that my employer's company, Cinca, had decided to deny my request to announce my discovery to the public, completely disregarding years of hard work and dedication to this project. This decision was absolute rubbish. Sounds like it. I have poured my heart and soul into this project, investing countless hours of research and experimentation to create something truly extraordinary. I feel this flower has the potential to make a significant impact on the field of horticulture, and it feels like such a waste to keep a gem like this hidden away for, quote, further research. As I suspected, they wanted the flower to serve primarily as a cheap way to produce resources for special floor plans. Oops, I am guilty of that. October 21st, 1990. I had high hopes for this logbook, but I have struggled to find a reason to add another entry. My employer's decision earlier this year has left me feeling disheartened, and I find it difficult to find the motivation to continue my work. I am aware that my disappointment is affecting my performance, and I am reminded of that daily when I see the houseplants slowly dying as I make my rounds. Perhaps I should quit. I really, really should have. Interesting. January 8th, 91. My ambition has been reignited. I overheard, perhaps with some prodding, that the employee contracts for the staff are kept within the Baron's private office on the 10th rank. a fact that I found quite remarkable considering that the house only has 9 ranks. This all but confirms the long-held suspicion that the rumored 46th room is in fact north of the antechamber, a suspicion that I had always considered too obvious to be plausible. Yeah, that is like super obvious. Why would it not be there? There's a literal door leading from the antechamber. Okay, whatever. As much as I wish to abandon all pretense of caring about my job to focus on this new project, I fear I must resume my gardening duties for the sake of appearances. It has, after all, been a long time since the north side of the house has received the groundkeeper's undivided attention. Let's trim the hedges and see what we find. January 11th, 91. This is just 3 days later. If there is a 10th rank, it is impossible to perceive its existence from the outside. So if it does exist, then I'm going to assume that reaching it can only be done through the antechamber. Sadly, security has only gotten tighter in the years after Mary's disappearance, and that room is no longer locked behind regular doors that can be opened by regular keys. No, that would be too easy. Instead, the Baron had remote access levers installed in several different rooms of the house. Funny enough, I already know the location of 3 of these levers, as one was recently installed in the greenhouse, and another 2 were installed in the secret garden. What? It's almost like they were choosing green rooms just to tempt me. Antechamber lever locations. Secret garden. Mechanarium. What? Secret garden mechanarium? What does that mean? Oh. That's the other location. So, okay, so these are the south, west, and east levers. And he doesn't know where the north lever is. I see. So Secret Garden is the main one to the west. Okay, I'm going to restructure my notes about this. No, I'm not. They're already structured well. So there's the Secret Garden. There's also the Mechanarium, which I think I have added to my draft pool. Maybe. Yes, because I drew it yesterday. Pretty sure. Okay, Great Hall and Secret Garden sealed for the east door. And I'm going to put in parentheses Power Hammer, so I know to use it there for that other lever. And then Greenhouse Weight Room sealed. What's sealed in the weight room? Oh, goodness. Okay. Weight room. Sealed. I don't remember there being a brick wall in there that I could break down, but I guess there could be a different seal in there. And I did read that he used to have a lever in the weight room and decided to move it somewhere else. So maybe he just sealed it up and then put one in the greenhouse instead. Very interesting. Okay, and is there anything to look at on here like there was in the basement? Doesn't look like it. Okay. March 10th, 91. Although these past few months of exploration have yet to yield the fruit I seek, I have, in that time, gained a much greater mastery of the estate and have stolen many glimpses behind the black curtain that veils her many secrets. Among the more exciting of my recent finds was the discovery of a hidden chamber in one of the outer rooms, sealed shut behind a false wall. Interesting. One of the outer rooms. The stale quality of the air and the unmistakable aroma of corroded metal lead me to believe that this chamber has remained sealed for many decades. Within it, I found a large vat and a copper still, their time-worn surfaces streaked with creeping veins of oxidation and rust. I am unsure if these instruments can be restored to working condition, but if they can, I may yet find use for the sugar beets and potato stores rotting away in the root cellar. Interesting. I wonder if it's in the root cellar. That seems like it might be too obvious, but I haven't looked in there in a long time. Interesting. Okay, resealed in January after deal in Reddington fell through. Gotcha. So it looks like he was maybe making moonshine or something like that and selling it in Reddington. That would line up with that note that's in the car in the garage about like a drop-off location. And then in January it fell through and he resealed it. Okay. August 4th, 91. At last, I have finally discovered a location of one of the north levers. It is deep underground in a location so far removed from any of the estate's plant life that had I been discovered, I would have been completely vulnerable without any excuse but curiosity to offer to my captor. As anxious as I was to pull it, I have decided to wait until the Baron is away, as it reduces the risk of being caught significantly. And once he leaves, I don't think that a delay in returning will be too hard to engineer, now that Kristoff is under my thumb and beholden to do whatever I command. Interesting. Okay. Don't remember who Kristoff is, but that may have been the person who drives the car, maybe? Not sure. Okay, yes, Baron's Inner Sanctum. There's the moon symbol. August 15th, 91. Well, there's no turning back now. After finally reaching the objective I have been working towards for the last 4 months, I made an impulsive decision in the heat of the moment and took more than just my contract. I found something that I knew would give me the chance to make back some of the money I felt was owed to me, and I grabbed the opportunity without really considering the consequences. Given that there is now only one missing file in the staff contracts, I have unwittingly left an incriminating trail leading directly back to me. My hope is that they consider it too obvious to be plausible. I'm almost positive that I'm not going to get away with it, but at this point I feel I owe it to myself to get what's coming to me one way or another. Interesting. Took something really valuable. And that's it. No more pages. Wow. Okay. So, even if I make it back to the antechamber, it looks like something has been stolen. That is really interesting. Okay, we now know that there's an outer room that has a brick wall to break through. Not sure which one it is, but my guess would be either the root cellar or the trading post, just because I very rarely go to either of those. I guess it could also be the I forget what it's called, but the one with the 2 items. That would be the tool shed, but probably not, because it's not brick. So yeah, my guess would be either the root cellar or the trading post. I guess it could be the tomb as well. He did just say it's sealed, which could mean sealed shut behind a false wall. Could mean the lighting the candles, which I know there are a couple of those in the tomb. Very interesting stuff. Don't know what this package... Oh wait, this is just envelopes. It's just red envelopes. Interesting. Huh. Okay, well, I would say that was some really good information. And I have, I think, all the important parts of it written down. Okay, and we have another way out of here, which is awesome. Okay, gymnasium is fine. Hallway fits a lot better. Although gymnasium wouldn't take the extra steps, and it would bring me back up to 40. So let's do that instead. Yeah, there we go. Freaked out for a little bit because I only saw it take away 5 of my steps. But it's all okay. We have a key card. And we could do dark room. Wouldn't be the worst option. Let's do dark room. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the utility closet, which is a long trek, but I think from there I'm going to go to the conservatory. Or possibly the workshop. I don't know. One of those two. Okay. This has been a really good run. I'd like to pet a dog now. Thank you. I hope, and this may never happen, and I'm prepared for that possibility, but my greatest hope right now is that there will be a room with a cat, and that I can pet the cat, because that would really tie this whole experience together. That's all I had to say about that. Yeah, this way. Through here. And up this way. And we can turn the dark room back on. And we might just go ahead and eat a pizza. Maybe not yet. I'm not that far away from a place to draft a room. Let's head back to the workshop. There's always the possibility I'll get another red room, which would completely negate the pizza. And I can always come back for it later. Probably. Freezer would prevent me from using gems. So I don't know about that. This might be a chance to redraw. Although Cloister would have items. So maybe it would be worth it to do that. I mean, it's free too, which is nice. Yeah, it fits. I want to save my redraw for a time when I actually need it. Still don't know how to get into the middle, which I was kind of hoping was going to be one of the things that he covered in his journal. But that's all right. We'll get there eventually. Let's head up from here. And we could do drawing room here. Actually wouldn't be too bad. It would use a gem. And I obviously wouldn't get to utilize the actual function of the drawing room. I could instead do spare room. Although I haven't pulled the lever for the south door. And I can't now that I've used my broken lever. Could also do mail room if I'm not going to put something else here anyway. Or I could redraw. Let's redraw. Hallway is fine. Walk-in closet could be good. And another freezer. Let's just put a hallway here. It at least doesn't cost me any money. Or gems. Okay. There might also be an item in here. I feel like there sometimes is. Gem. I'll take it. What I'd really like is to have 5 gems and be able to draft the trophy room. But that's feeling less and less likely. Okay. So what can I potentially do? I could end up getting the Great Hall, but probably over in that middle space next to the hallway and the drafting studio. If I get that, that opens the east door. Which is fine. I could also get the secret garden, which would potentially open up both the east and west doors, and I would have to get that over here on the right. So, yeah. Well, pool would get me to that east door, which is not too bad. And I don't feel like I want to risk going to the west door instead, because I don't have any redraws. So let's go ahead and put the pool here. Okay. That's all fine. Now let's head this way. Oh. Did my controller run out of battery? Or did it just disconnect? It's trying really hard to connect, so it may have just disconnected. I'm going to pause it real quick so that we can. Okay, we're back. The controller is fine, but I had to stop and start on dinner because I realized that it's way later in the day than I thought. So, anyway, now we can resume. And now my cat problem is solved too, because I now have a cat who is demanding pets from me. So, I guess that's fine. What I would like is for the possibility of a whatchamacallit, secret garden, and this is the only one that gives that, so we're gonna draw this one and hope for a secret garden. Oh wait, I need a secret garden key in order to do that, and I don't have one of those. So what we're gonna do is head back to the other side, and we're gonna eat our dinner on the way there, which is going to give us several more steps. And we're going to hope that we can somehow either get a secret garden key or that we draft the Great Hall. Yep, that's the plan. And if we don't, that's okay. We still did a pretty good, we had a pretty good run. These are now connected, which is awesome. So we can head this way. And this way. And then through here. The cat in my lap has calmed down, which is perfect. Okay. Don't think there was anything to grab in here. That's fine. Let's go ahead and go up to the dining room and eat our pizza. Yes, I would like to have dinner. Thank you. And then we'll head up to the conservatory. And draft from here. Okay, there's the pump room, which I do want because I want to change the levels in the reservoir. So we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and open this up. Unfortunately, no secret garden key. Let me just make sure I don't have that. No, I don't have the secret garden key. Yeah, okay. Right, so we want to fill this up to 6 out of 14, which should be pretty simple. Because we have 4 right here. So we just need to completely empty one of these tanks into the reservoir. Reservoir is number 2. It's right here. So this is going to go out to the reservoir. And we're just going to hit the button. Yes. Very nice. So that is now up to 6. I'm going to check my notes and make sure that 6 is where I want it. Yes, 6 out of 14. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 out of 14. All right. This will be the shortest time I've ever spent in the pump room. And I'm okay with that. Okay, unfortunately, that's going to be a no on the Great Hall and probably a no on the Secret Garden Key. It's unfortunate. Let's do library and potentially get some lore, maybe. There's a regular key. Okay, let's read a new clue by my mother. Yep, 1988. Sundial Publishing. A new clue. All he needed was to find a new clue. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. If he knew what to do, he'd likely tell you. For you are looking for a new clue too. Gotta take a magnifying glass to every page. Because with a name like a new clue, can't leave any stone unturned. Okay, Route 8. Interesting. He had retraced his sketches and studied the files, reviewed all his cases and gone through the piles of the evidence present and precedents evident, and retraced his steps as it stretched on for miles. Corner cases. Parlor, patio, office, library, pantry. Yep, those are all corner, right? Yes. I'm trying to think of the patio, actually. All the other ones I know for sure are corner spaces. I'll have to check on patio. Dead cases. Lavatory, yep. Closet, yes. Attic, Furnace, yes. And so, what does that say? I have to tilt my head. Solarium? Is that what that says? Yeah, I'm not sure what that says. Suspect list. Oh boy. Oh man, even with the thing, I can barely make out the names. Rose Bawley, age 50. Richard Scott, age 12. Okay. Frond? Is that what that says? Yeah, Frond Mayford. age 32, Sandra Dillon, age 14, Bo Lee, age 16, Charles Riscall, age 12, and Christoph Clark, age 25. Depart. I have no clue what this is supposed to imply, but okay. He had looked high and low in all of the rooms. He had searched every corner in each of the tombs. In this particular case, he had checked every space. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. Keep left. I don't know what that means. Keep left. These are the special candles, though. I bet if he lit those, he'd get a new clue. What does keep left mean? I mean, I guess it's just a sign, but I feel like it means something. Okay. He looked and he looked under beds and in nooks. He questioned the maids. He questioned the cooks. It was already over when he spoke to the chauffeur, who told him new clues were found only in books. To Tanner Fork. Okay, so tome after tome that the library loaned, and the books that he already owned, were searched from their covers all the way through. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. There are lots of signs in here. I'm not sure what they all mean. Tender Cipher. Lunar Renamed. Uncle Ah. Draft the Sixes. Don't know what any of that means. Can't see what he's reading either. Tender Cipher. Lunar Renamed. Uncle Ah. Draft the Sixes. Oh, I have no clue. He changed all the letters in the lines that he found. He checked all the colors of the spines that were bound. He doubled the meaning of each seasonal greeting and found that the diction of each word was sound. Mary, Mary, Gates, Gates. Right, right. Lore and jore. Word, name. Draft the Sixes. Shifted extras. The fixed star, maybe? Fixed stars, actually. The fixed stars would be what that says. Count Gates. But Gates could be Gates. And there are lots of pictures of Gates in the drawing room. And then dead end up here. Oof, okay. He stayed up all night and studied the maps. He laid out the floor plans and measured the gaps. And if his directory was considered a trajectory, it was nothing short of a full mental lapse. got whatever this thing is. He's got a hammer. He's got his blueprint. We are in the record room. Interesting. A man obsessed, and cuckoo too, they would say as he would wander through. The best medicine is not yet evidence. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. Each. And having read this book so many times, having scoured over each of its cryptic lines, have you exhausted your search? Have you seen all the signs? Yeah, I've seen all the signs. I think they maybe spell out a message. But I have to go back and look. Which, don't worry, I will do that. I'm not just going to go to the end and say, all right, all done. That would be insane. Major. Major? What? What book is this? Something after something that the library something. Oh no, this is the page that I was looking at before. There's a stack of books that had titles on them. This one, he's looking at the words on this page. XYZ ABC. Library. Covers. Red, green, violet, blue. Page A, word X. Page C, word A. Page B, word Y, and page Z, word X. What? Assume page count sorts on title pages. Oh, goodness. XYZ ABC. What does that mean? XYZ ABC? Dead end. Major key. Is this going to have to do with all those cursive words I've been seeing in all these messages? I swear. I mean, look at that. The word end is clearly written differently than all the other words on that little sheet of paper. And they're like drawing an arrow from that to C. Why? Dead end. Oh, goodness. This book is going to kill me. This is something Aries Metro. It has all the stops. There's a photo of people dancing. There's some other kind of photo. I think that's one of the ones in the dark room, maybe. Although it looks like it might be Alzara in the background, so maybe not. And this one is a landscape with a bird. Excuse me. Or is there perhaps something new, something overlooked, but now in view? Have you finally found it? Could it really be true? If it's a new clue, you know what to do. The suspect is minor. The suspect is minor. The suspect is major. How is the suspect minor and major? The suspect is a key. What in the world? On the way. Oh, man. Okay, well, that's the whole book. And there's clearly something huge going on here. And I don't know what it is. So let's look at all the signs on the pages. This one says Route 8. This one says Depart. This one says Keep Left. Route 8, Depart, Keep Left to Tanner Fork. Then there is one that's like a right turn. Dead end. Record or record each stop on the way. It's like a turn right sign, I would say. To Tanner Fork. I don't know what that means. Keep left. So Route 8, Depart, Keep Left to Tanner Fork. Turn right, dead end, record each stop on the way. I have no idea what that could possibly mean. So in addition to that, this page is insane, and I don't really understand it. Mainly because I don't get what these letters mean. What does this page say? So tome after tome that the library loaned, and the books that he had that he already owned, were searched from their covers all the way through. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. There are different colored books here. Specifically 4 different colored books. There's Tender Cipher. There's Lunar Renamed. There's Uncle Aw. And there's Draft the Sixes. So my question is, are these all anagrams? Is that what they're called? Because then over here, Draft the Sixes becomes Shifted Extras or the Fixed Stars. I don't know. Is the Fixed Stars the name of that other book? It might be. So if Draft the Sixes becomes the Fixed Stars, what does that have to do with this? So library is circled, covers, red, green, violet, or blue. Those are the different covers. Or for some reason counting the pages and the words. And if it's red, we go to page A and find word X. But what does that mean? Page A, word X? Then it has the way. X, Y, Z, A, B, C. What does that mean? The way. XYZ ABC. I really don't know. I think that's kind of where I'm stuck right now. I also don't know what this is about. Major. It's split between ma and jor. And then if we go back to this one, jor equals name. And lore equals word. I don't know what that means. We also have a right and right. Oh. Maybe this is right as in WRITE. Like the sign that has like a right turn on it. But that doesn't necessarily make any more sense. Gates and gates. If we count small gates. Maybe. Do we need to count small gates as in those kind of gates? I don't know. Mary, Mary. And why is that a thing? Mary, Mary. Does that have to do with maybe her admin key code? Instead of using the name Mary, M-A-R-Y, they used Mary, M-E-R-R-Y? Although that shouldn't necessarily matter if they're using first initial last name. Although they did point out that at least one of them didn't use that format. Or didn't use the first letter of first name, first 4 letters of last name. And this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's like the normal layout. Starting from the entrance. Don't know what this little jar is. Yeah, I don't know. This one says each, but I don't think there's any other details I can really make out in here. I'm really hopeful that I'm not missing anything super obvious on any of these pages. And here is all those notes. Stop. Yeah. I don't get it. The suspect is minor. Is false. According to that memo in the security room. The suspect is major. Is true. And the suspect is minor is true. The suspect is a key. Is that the guy's name? In the foyer? Aaron Key? Is it Major Aaron Key the 4th? So maybe he's a suspect of something? Oh, you know what? You know what? So maybe this is just completely bonkers, but Key, as a last name, only has 3 letters. And so if there were to be an employee or somebody with admin access who had the last name Key, then their passcode would inevitably have to break the protocol of first initial, first 4 letters of last name, because they don't have first 4 letters of last name. So I wonder if A key is maybe one of the passcodes for the admin in Blackbridge Grotto. That seems too good to be true, but I will try it the next time I'm there, because that honestly sounds so plausible. I mean, to write down the name A Key, which we know is a name that's in the foyer, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that guy's name is Major Aaron Key, the fourth. The suspect is Major. That would be his name, or his title. Suspect is Major Aaron Key. The suspect is minor. What does that mean? Oh. Younger than 18, maybe. I don't think that was one of the names at the beginning, was it? Suspect list. No, I don't see an Aaron Key on there. Doesn't mean it's not him, though. I'm still struggling to figure out what that bottom word is. My best guess is solarium, but I don't know what that is. Let me close this for a second and look at my directory and see if there's... Maybe it says storeroom? These are dead ends that we're talking about, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't see anything that even comes close to looking like that word. Yeah, so this word is it just storeroom? Is that what it was? No, that's definitely not storeroom. Definitely looks like solarium. I'm somehow getting a closer look at it now. I have no idea what that could possibly mean, though. Huh. Okay. So the signs. Route 8. Depart. Keep left to Tanner Fork. Right. Dead end. Record each stop on the way. No idea what that could possibly mean. But this A key thing, I am very intrigued by. I think I might have to try that. What else? I still don't get these letters. XYZ ABC. What does that mean? XYZ ABC. I mean, I know that those correlate with pages and words, but like they should correlate with numbers too, right? Dead end. Something. Major key. That's C. Why is that C? I don't feel like that makes any sense to me. Have you seen all the signs? Yeah, I think so. Why is there an arrow going from end and pointing at the letter C? I don't know. Do these correlate at all? So let's see. Draft the Sixes becomes The Fixed Stars, which I think might be the title of that one book. I'm not sure. Do these other ones also become other things? A New Clue. Yep, Uncle Ah becomes A New Clue. And that's the name of this book. Okay, Lunar Renamed. None of these become drafting strategy. That's all I can think of. None of them become Swimbird. The first one becomes the Red Prince. Tender Cipher becomes the Red Prince. Lunar Renamed. What does that become? I don't know. I might have to look at the list again, which we'll have to wait till next time. So what's the point of those being scrambled though? He changed all the letters in the lines that he found. He checked all the colors of the spines that were bound. Let me think. Blue is page Z, word X. Blue. I was wondering if there was a Z and an X in the title, but there's not. There's just an X. So I don't get it. Assume page count starts on the title pages. That's fine. I can do that. It's a very straightforward instruction. If we're looking at the color or the colors of the covers, that's fine. That makes sense. I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to know. I'd like to know right now, but I don't think I will. This is also just really confusing to me. Dead end. An end. Dead end. Maybe the entire thing. Maybe it's not just the word end. Maybe it's dead end. Becomes C. But why does it become C? There's this page that has the sign dead end on it. But why does it become C? I don't know. He doubled the meaning of each seasonal greeting. Okay. And found that the diction of each word was sound. Yeah. Dead end. Man, I feel like I'm playing lingo. Just thinking about if there's any other way these can be pronounced. Lunar Renamed. I think all the letters in murder are there. What other? Murder. Yeah, they're all there. So what letters does that leave? L, N, A, N, A. Is that it? And E. Doesn't really tell me much. Okay, well, I just really don't know what to make of this. I'm going to take a picture of this screen because it feels very important. I'm also going to, not that. Come on. I just want to look at this by itself. Yes. Okay. The way. Don't know what that means though. X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Dead end. C. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, so if the way is all these signs, right? So let's say the way is referring to Route 8, depart, keep left, to Tanner Fork, right, dead end. And then the instructions are record each stop on the way. Well, if we assign all those signs letters, it sounds ridiculous. It may or may not mean anything. If we assign all those signs letters, so we start with X being Route 8, Y being depart, Z being keep left, A being to Tanner Fork, B being right, and C being dead end, then that would make sense why dead end is now pointing to the letter C. That's the only rationale I can find in my small brain. So what does that mean? Word X, page C. On a green book, page C. Would it be page dead end? That doesn't make any sense. So that doesn't really tell me much, right? Unless it's page end. But that still doesn't mean anything for these other ones. Like, if B is right, then we are looking at page right in a violet book. I don't feel like that makes any sense. Like, is there anything that we could possibly gain from this that would apply to this book? Page B, word Y. If these really did apply to those 6 signs, which it is interesting that there are 6 and that this would line up with that. Anyway, page B, word Y. So that would be page right, word depart. That doesn't make any sense. Page right. That's not even... I don't know if any of these pages would be considered right. Maybe this one. But word depart doesn't mean anything. Okay, I think I'm going down the wrong path here. But I just want to know why dead end points at C. I think I'm going to have to go back to it has to do with the fact that it's written out like that, right? Maybe. Okay, well, that's fine. I can look back at some of those notes, maybe, that have handwritten words in them. Maybe. I might be overthinking that too. Ugh. This is gross. This is just so many things. That I'm not really sure about. A new clue. Also known as Uncle... I don't even remember. Uncle Ah. Uncle Ah. I don't understand. Okay, Lunar renamed. I'll have to look at the list again. I think for now I have to put this down because I could stare at this for hours and hours. Probably already have at this point. I'll probably do some of that on my own time. See if I can figure anything out. What I do want to do while I'm in here is go ahead and walk up the stairs. Man, I have no idea how long I was looking at that, but this episode has got to be like at least 3 hours long. My goodness. Okay. I still don't understand inheritance. Room 46. It seems to indicate that I took 11 hours, 10 minutes, and 41 seconds. Which is not true. I took like 30-something hours. So I just don't know. Steps taken. Do I need to count my steps? Is that something I should do? 2589? I don't know. Keys turned, 157. Gems used, 254. Gold spent, 774. Allowance is 17. Stars is 10. Yeah, okay. I'm well on my way to getting the parlor trophy. I'm less on my way to getting the billiards trophy. That's fine. Upgrade discs and red letters is still where it was a while ago. Okay, here's the Mount Holly scrapbook. Is there anything new that I can learn from the scrapbook? I don't know. What in the world? Random letters. Right? Is that random letters? I can't tell. Huh. It feels like it might be random letters. MTHEXIIV. M. The XIIV is not a Roman numeral, I don't think. Okay, somebody's home, so I'm going to have to pause it for a second. Okay, I'm back. I looked through this briefly. It looks like I have 4 of 8 contraptions, which is great. I noticed there are 8 spots here, which that might be the 8 sigils that I have to find. I don't know. I feel like those might be connected. Yeah, I'm going to need to wrap this up pretty quickly, which is great because I only have one room left to draft. So let's go ahead and go do that. And to do that, I need to go around this way. And yeah, a pretty long way actually. There's a rook in here. I need to write that down. There's a rook in the conservatory. Glad that I caught that while I was here. And that's, I would assume, that is all of the rooks found. Yes, conservatory. I wonder what happens if I put those in the corners. That's got to do something, right? Oh, man. Oh, no, my controller again? Okay, it connected. Is it going to stay connected, or is it going to run out of battery? Feel like could do either one. Do I want to go ahead and put something in here? Probably. Let's check. Oh man, we have so much stuff. I think what I'd like to do is put the power hammer in here. And yeah, I can only check one item. That's fine. Power hammer is in there, and we are going to make our way over to the classroom and draft our last room. Yep, we're gonna go this way. Man, this has been quite the episode. It's been quite the long episode. So, I'm gonna try to maybe not do that if I can manage that in the future. There's an apple. Looks like this is a normal grade 1 classroom. You must really like red. It's funny that that's my name. Something, something, I am the Red Prince. Okay. Here's the final one. I could double my money. There would be absolutely no reason to do that at this point. But I could do it. Do I want to? I don't think so. Let's redraw. We have so many redraws. Could do a sauna. That would help me out tomorrow. But I kind of want something more interesting than that. Let's redraw. Casino. Here we go. That's something I haven't seen yet. And I've got lots of coins to spend. Are we ready to spend another hour on this episode? Because that's kind of seeming like what's going to happen. Oh, man. Oh, and they just give me lots of coins. This is absolutely crazy. Out of order. Broken handle. Ugh. Okay, so I have to have a broken handle for that casino machine. You know, that's fair. That makes sense. I was always wondering what another use for the broken handle would be. And that's a pretty good one. Mount Holly Roulette. Spin the wheel for your chance to win special prizes. Now, here's the thing. Do all of these special prizes, these are all just for the run, right? Except I can't. Oh, it's 2 free spins. So I don't think that's going to be worth it. And I'm assuming all of these would just be for the run, right? Yeah, this just gets me more coins, potentially. That's fine. This one, I have no idea, but maybe more coins? Maybe higher chances of better coins? This seems to be the same thing. Yeah? Are these all the same? It looks like these are all the same. I'm going to keep looking at each individual one, but it looks like they're all the same. Okay, so that's a way to potentially make coins into more coins, I think. Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like. And then this turns coins into either more coins or other currencies. Oh, there is an allowance token on there. I just realized that. And this one can potentially increase my allowance by 4. This one can potentially increase... I can't tell. Is it just by 2? Yes. So if I spend 20, I can increase by 2. I mean, I'm not keeping these coins. Let's do it. Come on, allowance. Nope, just 5 keys. Well, this would be a great day to have a locker room. Which I unfortunately do not have. Can I play again? Can I only play once per day? Are you kidding me? I have so many coins. I bet I can do all of these exactly one time. I should have gone for more coins first. Well, okay. I didn't know that I would only be able to do it one time. It's possible that I actually read that out loud and just didn't register it, but yeah. Okay. What does bonus spin mean? I don't know. Each bonus spin costs 1. So I can potentially bonus spin individual ones to possibly get 15 coins. That's 9. I can't bonus spin it again, even though I could bonus spin the other one again. Okay. Sure, I'll cash out with 9 coins. That's fine. Well, this casino seems like it could potentially be really good towards the start of a run. Or it could have been good if I had realized that I would only get 1 spin. Probably should have read things more carefully or something. I don't know. But okay, that is it. Do I have a... Yeah, I have a break room. I don't know if I can make it all the way back there, though. In fact, I don't think I can. 1, 2, 3... Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, right, because I reconnected everything. Okay, let's do that then. And I'm glad I can do that, because we are definitely out of time here. Yes, the greenhouse is what connected everything. That makes sense. And we are going to call it a day right here. I think we've done everything we can. Let's call it. Okay, Garden Cathedral of Tomorrow. 7 green rooms, a chapel, a cloister, a shrine, and 6 tomorrow rooms. Interesting. Lots of religious themed rooms can get you a cathedral title. We have 2 new rooms. We had the casino, obviously, and we had the conservatory, which is pretty cool. We ended the day in the break room for sure this time. No cheating involved. We got another full house. We don't necessarily get a reward for that, but that's pretty cool. What else? We broke down a couple of walls. We learned a lot about Denny Ravain's shenanigans. We opened up a shortcut that goes straight from the outside area to the foundation, or to the basement, which we could go straight to the foundation tomorrow since we will have a key card. Not sure how smart that is. I guess it could increase my chances of being on the west side and having a south-facing door. So, maybe. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape for tomorrow, which hopefully will not be as long of an episode, but I guess we'll see. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this exceptionally long episode. If you did, please consider leaving a like or a positive comment, because that would really help me out, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!